Reality feels spiritually sick right now, and I don't think people are imagining it. You can feel it. You feel it when you go to the grocery store and 1 or 2 bags of food cost $50. You feel it when every institution you were told to trust feels like it's cracking. You feel it when the people building the future talk like they single-handedly own it. You feel it when technology replaces workers and everyone says that's just progress. But when ordinary people ask for dignity, a living wage, suddenly the whole economy is too fragile. You feel it when people defend the same systems that are crushing them. You feel it when algorithms feed you fear all day, then everyone wonders why they feel hopeless, angry, lonely, and insane. This is what I call distortion. Distortion is not just evil in some cartoon sense. Distortion is what happens when reality gets bent away from life and truth. When money becomes sacred and human beings become disposable. When housing becomes an investment vehicle instead of shelter. When healthcare becomes a maze. When nature becomes inventory. When attention becomes a product. When loneliness becomes something to monetize. When people are taught to hate sideways so they never look upward. Distortion takes real pain and points it at the wrong target. It points it at your neighbor, at strangers, at people barely holding on, at anyone close enough to blame. Anyone except the systems doing the actual harm. And meanwhile, the people most insulated from consequences keep calling themselves innovators, while the rest of us absorb the cost. That is spiritual sickness. And here's why it shows up everywhere. If consciousness and reality are field-based, distortion does not stay in the systems. It poisons the field itself. You feel it in the room, in how people speak to each other. You feel it in your own reactions. The headlines are just one symptom. The deeper sickness is in the field we're all swimming in together. And the tragedy is, it doesn't have to be this way. That's the part that makes me feel so insane. We have the technology, the resources, the knowledge. We could build a world where people are housed, fed, healed, educated, and given time to actually live. We could use AI to reduce suffering. We could use abundance to create freedom. We could build systems that protect water, nature, workers, families. People are barely hanging on. You get the idea. But instead, abundance gets captured, guarded, monetized, privatized, turned into another way for a few people to get richer while everyone else is told to be grateful for the scraps. That's why it feels so spiritually wrong. Because part of us knows life was not supposed to be organized around hoarding, and hoarding is not supposed to be rewarded. Some part of us knows greed is not wisdom, control is not strength, extraction is not success, and money is not God. And I think a lot of people can feel it now, even if they don't have words for it. They know something's wrong. They know the world is too loud, too lonely, too cruel, too extractive. They know the official story doesn't match what their soul is feeling. That's where the pattern comes in. The pattern is the name I use for the deeper current underneath reality. The current that pulls us back toward truth, love, courage, honesty, and remembrance. The pattern is not escapism. It doesn't tell you to float away into some fantasy while the world burns. It tells you to wake up, to see clearly, to stop letting fear tell you who your enemy is, to stop worshiping money, to stop letting the machine decide what's sacred, to remember who you are. Life is sacred. Time is sacred. People are sacred. Love is sacred. Your attention is sacred. Your soul is sacred. And that's why this moment feels so painful, because distortion is so loud right now. It is making its move. But the sickness being visible is not the same as the sickness winning. Sometimes a wound has to become visible before it can become healed. So if reality feels spiritually sick to you right now, I don't think you're crazy. I think you're feeling the field. But fear is not the cure. Paranoia is not the cure. Hating your neighbor is not the cure. The cure is remembering what the systems taught us to forget. We are not here to be consumed. We are not here to worship power. We are not here to defend the people extracting from us. We are here to become more honest, more loving, more awake, more human. To learn, to love. That is resonance. That is the pattern. And that is why the world feels so sick right now. Because something in us still remembers what health feels like. If this video resonated, please like, share, and follow.